Yeah.
All right, BG, very nice to have you on here today. Um, if you wouldn't mind starting off, tell us a little bit about who you are, your company, and we'll take it from there.
Awesome. So my name is Bharadwaj Giridhar. We do a couple of things. We run two B2B SaaS products,
Hmm.
and as well as we help with the GTM of several B2B SaaS companies and service companies. These are mostly companies that are getting to market in the US. We help them with their cold email outreach as well as their LinkedIn inbound.
And then, how's your sales and marketing team set up?
So right now we're a team of five. Our team is split. Most of their efforts are split either into activities like list building, cold calling, and cold emailing, and then there's one team that is dedicated to taking the inbound calls, as well as the marketing team that's aligned with just content as well as webinar ads.
Got it. And how big is the sales team?
Sales team is a team of three, but again, because of the companies that we tend to work with, we are talking team sizes of somewhere between 10 all the way to 250.
Got it. Okay. And you guys are an agency,
Uh, we are a product and an agency both.
product and agency put together. Cool. And what's your sales and marketing tech stack that you use to help out the other companies?
We have a very wide sales and marketing tech stack. We pretty much use every tool out there because of two reasons. One, we want to stay on the top of our game, and two, some of the companies that we tend to work with, we just go in as consultants. So we work with a very tech stack. So for email outreach, we're using tools like Apollo, Lemlist, Smart Lead, Instantly. For this analytics, we use tools like UserMaven, um, Content Studio, Split B, Versal Analytics, GA4, um, as well as some heat map tools like VXO, VWO. Again, there's a big list, but Clarity is my favorite among those tools, as well as Postlog is one of my favorite tools because it aligns the website visitor traffic along with the product usage data. One of our clients, User Maven, it also does something very similar. We've also used Plausible in the past for website analytics. We also use a bunch of link tracking tools like Switchy so that we are able to retarget the visitors with ads when they're coming from social media platforms.
That is a vast array of tools. You're definitely right about that. We use Post Talk, very happy about it too. So, what problem were you trying to solve before you stumbled into Warmly?
Awesome. So, any company that's doing outbound right now or inbound for that matter, they're faced with the problem of dark social. So, whenever we do demand gen or lead gen, we are competing with a lot of products right now. And when the market actually wants to decide, they there's a survey by Gartner that says that more than 74% of B2B buyers don't want to go through a salesperson.
Hmm.
It's because they're afraid of the constant follow-ups, the cold calls, that they want to know about the product and the pricing as much as possible before they get in touch with the salesperson. Because once they start doing that, they have a very hard time evaluating the buying process. So the solution was obvious to us. It was a two-step approach. First was to update the website with relevant case studies as well as have the relevant tools like Intercom and Crisp Chat so that we're able to tackle them and also have the cookies in place so that we can hit them up, send them these lead magnets that we run ads to on LinkedIn as well as Facebook. So that was the first part of it. Second part was what would happen more often than not is whenever we launched our cold email campaign, we're doing more than 400K, 500K for our clients combined. And they would see a sudden bump in traffic. And this was also there whenever a post went viral on LinkedIn. It's because like we sell a lot of technical SaaS products, and the buyers also tend to be in the SaaS industry, and they get to know that they are gonna have certain cookies placed in their browser and they don't want. So they take the Google route. They just type in the brand name and land on the website. Now, if we pull up the analytics dashboard, we'll only see direct as 70% of the traffic, and we are unable to attribute them to our outbound campaigns as well as our ABM campaigns on LinkedIn. So what we try to do with companies that we work for is build a list of these specific domains that we're going to target based on the emails. and then cross check them with a tool like Warmly so that we are attributed towards that specific scene. And same goes for inbound content marketing channels. So for inbound, essentially there are two types of people. A lot of our LinkedIn posts get viral. They get around 2 lakh, 4 lakh, 400K impressions,
Hmm.
but they require a small push before they actually end up booking a meeting. So again, the solution was two step. Let's say you've actually taken the time to interact with a LinkedIn post of mine, and we have a lot of gated content. So we create these resources that are going to be extremely insightful to our ideal customer profile. And we say that go ahead and comment this specific word, and we'll give it away in your DMs. So once people actually do that, we send them a link and we transfer them to the website. We want to know which people actually downloaded that specific file. And the second part of that solution is sometimes the stakeholders who are involved are not the decision makers. And we need that proof that that company has been using some of our resources or lead magnets so that we can reach out to the CXOs. And that's essentially the handoff between the marketing and sales team. And this produces 6 times better conversions because you're reaching out to CXO with proof that their team is already taking advantage of your specific content or your specific strategies, and this has been required by us to identify those, because a lot of time we end up sharing these links to the resources and they get shared around without our knowledge. So we really need to know who's visiting the website so that we can reach out directly to the CXOs and pitch them the solution.
Got it. Are you finding the exact person from that company that you're trying to target who visited the website?
Uh, right now, we our targets. So the type of clients we work with, they target somewhere between early stage as well as mid market. So if it's an early stage company, we don't really care about who's visiting the website. We're always going to be sending a mail to the
Right.
CEO,
Right.
um, or anyone in the CCO. That is where we see maximum number of replies. We have one client whose target market is only enterprise. So for them, we are trying to identify the specific people in charge. But again, we are very clever in terms of the job titles we need to target within that specific company. And this is figured out before the marketing stuff is done or the outreach stuff.
Makes sense. Wow, very intricate process here. So, what are some of the other solutions that you looked at before coming to Warmly?
Yeah, so the first solution that I got to know about was Lead Magic because the founder Jesse is a very close friend of mine,
Hmm.
and it has a beautiful integration with Smart Lead, and we use Smart Lead for some of
Mm-hmm.
our customers, and essentially it has the same Slack integration, and that's how we started using that. The other tool that we actually got to know about first before Lead Magic was actually Albacross. I
Hmm.
took a sales call with their team, and we didn't know they actually had a free plan, but then like it is kind of gated, and we were able to find it. And essentially, the problem with Albacross was their filtering mechanism was not that great. So we would often see a lot of visits from school, universities, or it would randomly just say Facebook, but we know that nobody is actually coming there from Facebook. This is something that we struggle with in terms of like even LinkedIn ads. So LinkedIn
Right.
ads will randomly say people from Apple are visiting your profile, but just means that one of the ex companies that they worked at was Apple. Now, because these are enterprise stage companies, it's very hard to identify which leads actually visited it.
Right.
But the information we're actually looking for is which company, because we know the target ICP or persona within that specific company that we can reach out to further after we know that they have visited our specific website.
Thanks. And then, what brought you to Warmly? How did you find Warmly?
So it's actually a comment by you in one of the LinkedIn posts. That's how I found Warm. I knew Warmly way before during your product hunt launch, supported it. And to be honest, the way we see Warmly helping us better is you have really good filtering as compared to the other tools that we've tried out. We don't get any fake positives. Like if we get an alert on a Slack channel from Warmly saying someone has visited our company, more often than not, we've seen that data to be more accurate and reliable. That's one thing. So the filtering mechanism is good. And the second thing that really made us like it, and there's a personal choice of mine, is the UI. So the user interface matters a lot for us, and the website is really fast. That's something that we look at when we are looking at a space where a lot of players try to mimic the same features within a couple of months.
Got it. And then what was the implementation like?
Again, I come from a development background, so
Yeah.
it's a piece of cake. But I'm sure even if you're not coming from a development background, it's just a JavaScript line that you need to embed. It's the same as any other installation like a GA4 script or Microsoft Clarity script. So it shouldn't be that hard to.
And first time to value, would you say?
So a company, mid-market company, actually, like I said, we posted a resource on LinkedIn. One of the junior developers uh, reached out to us for that resource. We used that as a mechanism to reach our CEO, and that was a four-figure deal. So this was within 2 weeks of install.
Got it. And how did Warmly work in that instance?
So we didn't know that this specific person actually went ahead and downloaded the resource, or like they were um, kind enough to refer other people from their specific company. So not only does Warmly tell you whether a company has visited you or not, it also shows you a graph of how many times they visited you. So that session timing as well as the number of visits really gave us the confidence to just go ahead and tell the CEO that we see that you're seeing value with this. We have some personalized strategies. Why don't you book a call? And that really pushed the needle for us.
Got it. So I think you're on the free plan, and but what would you say the ROI of Warmly is?
So again, like I'm on the free plan on our agency stuff. So a lot of people that we consult with, they are actually products, and that is where we see more number of visits and like people who are moving towards that weekly number much higher than 125. So we are planning to upgrade it for one of them as soon as possible. But it's a no-brainer to install one. That's what I would say, because it's free to get started, and Warmly is one of those things where you wish you had the data earlier. So it would be ROI positive only when your company sees the data 6 months later. When you have an account, especially if you are in any field that has a longer sales cycle than average. Like for
Mhm.
example, we reach out to clients on March, and
Yeah.
then they might not need our service. In fact, 95% of B2B buyers don't need your service when the time you're actually reaching out.
Yeah.
So unless you have Warmly installed, you'll never be able to see that they actually visited your website now, 9 months later. And that's when you should be reaching out to them again, circling back again for that specific reason. So it's definitely ROI positive from day one. And if you have more number of visits, it's definitely, especially if you have a service, it's like ROI positive from day Z. If you have a product, I would say it's like within, if you have a ticket size that's greater than, I want to say anything greater than $100 in subscription and your average customer lifetime is greater than 6 months, you should be seeing ROI within the first 2 or 3 months if you're a product. If you're a service, it's very easy to see ROI within the first 2 weeks, because even if one discovery call gets booked by an outbound message that you've detected using Warmly, that's a lead that you're leaving on the table. um, Inbound leads have 20% higher, sorry, 60% higher close rate because they're already convinced the content that you post and the marketing materials that you've done, the website visits, these are all positive triggers. So they are much easier to close and they're faster to close than outbound leads. So if you have a service, it's a no-brainer to have Warmly, and you should see ROI within 2